WWE Bad Blood was a very eventful show that left the fans happy. But people have a right to complain, and I'm here giving you the platform to do it. So let's take a look at some of your Bad Blood hot takes. Solo is the worst wrestler. Right off the bat, I gotta disagree. Solo is not the greatest wrestler of all time, but he does have his style, and I think he's pretty good in the ring. The problem with Solo is not the way he wrestles. The problem is that he still lacks some aura. And I think eventually we will look back and say, well, Solo is actually doing some good things. There's something that he lacks. I can't tell you what it is, but it's definitely not the work rate. Maybe he shouldn't have lost every single match in 2023. Maybe that could have helped. MJF versus Punk is better than Drew versus Punk. Now, I can't really tell you since I wasn't really following AEW anymore that much. I saw the highlights, I saw some of the matches, but this one really comes down to your preference. I think both were really legitimately great rivalries. Both had blood. I'ma stick with Drew McIntyre versus Punk, but I could never argue against that. I think MJF versus Punk was probably the best AEW rivalry. Oh my god, the comments are gonna kill me. Bad Blood is better than SummerSlam this year. I saw this a lot, and I don't know. The thing about Bad Blood is, while it was a good show, Hell in a Cell kinda carried it. Hell in a Cell, and obviously the closing moments of the main event. Without that Hell in a Cell match, it could have been a pretty average WWE premium live event. But again, that's like saying, well, if this thing didn't have this thing, it wouldn't be good. It did have that thing. I mean, SummerSlam had LA Knight winning the championship, Braun Breaker winning the title, Roman Reigns' return. On the other hand, none of the matches at SummerSlam were as good as that Hell in a Cell match. You know what? I'ma say they were equally good. And again, I loved Bad Blood, but some of these matches in the middle were just kinda there. Decent wrestling, disappointing finishes. You know, the Great One should face Nia Jax in Crown Jewel. Oh my god, you guys know the concept of this pay-per-view? WWE Champion versus the World Heavyweight Champion. WWE Women's Champion versus the WWE Women's World Champion. This is where I step up and I issue a challenge. WWE, you want ratings, you want Hollywood. You like cinema. You want Hollywood at Crown Jewel. Let for Mania run wild. The WWE Divas Champion, the Great One, Hollywood Great One, makes the triple threat match. WWE Women's Champion versus the WWE Women's World Champion versus the WWE Glendon Divas Champion. I'm the greatest WWE Divas Champion, and I'm tired of people pretending that I'm not. I realized I could have done this in pink lighting. Would have made a lot more sense. But anyway. Priest still hasn't completed his revenge. He needs to take the tag team titles off Finn and JD by teaming up with someone similar to his aesthetic, like Corbin. He should move to Raw. That doesn't make any... Corbin, really? Everybody say, you know what? Corbin and Priest. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. But the first part of your hot take, I kinda agree. The WWE Tag Team Championships are not being defended. And honestly, I feel like WWE are not doing such a great job with the tag team division anymore. Great tag teams, great matches. We literally got a TLC match on SmackDown. But especially when it comes to Raw, nothing is happening. They're just carrying these titles. And I believe Damian Priest teaming up with somebody, taking these championships. I like the sound of that, but I'm feeling more like Jey Uso. Jey, two belts? Yeet. Something along those lines. You know, that makes sense when it comes to the story. I'm not saying it needs to be Jey Uso, but I see the vision. Finn Balor should have won without the use of the Judgment Day. Look, man, not only he did use the Judgment Day, he also lost. I said this in my review. If you're a big fan of Finn Balor, we all are, right? Let it go. It's not gonna happen. That's his ceiling. He's not gonna be a WWE champion anymore. Really shitty timing. He won the title in 2016, had to relinquish it, and never gained back that momentum. I agree. I mean, he just turned heel. They need some W's. I like this version of the Judgment Day, but WWE are making a mistake into making it look like it's the Judgment Day light. Punk vs. Drew should have main evented. The Rock be damned. I'm seeing this floating around a lot. Sure, I agree. Punk vs. Drew should have main evented. A lot of people are blaming The Rock. And I do as well, not in a sense that, oh my god, damn you, Rocky, you're ruining professional wrestling to me. As a matter of fact, he is making professional wrestling cool. I like what The Rock is doing. But it was such a Rock decision. This match needs to main event because I'm gonna show up and do nothing. That's such a Rock thing to do. I'm not gonna blame Rock. I don't think it ruined the pay-per-view. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But we like to overanalyze sometimes, and that match should have main evented the show, not the tag team match. And The Rock showing up, he literally could have showed up in the beginning of the show, whatever. I don't think it made that big of a difference. And the fact that The Rock is main eventing and I'm not makes me sick. Gunther versus Goldberg could actually be a great match, and if it's Goldberg's last match, it would be a great way to send off his M&M bag of a career that he has. I agree, like I've said, no harm in doing that. That's the way I like to watch professional wrestling. Creating moments. Gunther hitting that powerbomb, pinning Goldberg, that's one hell of a moment. I'm not gonna complain. Is his career really an M&M bag? I feel like that's the case if you're a hardcore wrestling fan. If you look at the booking, what he should have done, what he shouldn't have done. But like if you're watching this from a kayfabe standpoint, he had a great career. My man returned when he was 69 years old and won the WWE Universal Championship twice. Kevin should have turned heel on air. I am making an entire video on this, on greatness of wrestling. So I'ma keep my opinion, but I disagree. Great one, as long as you've been watching wrestling, I can't believe you're missing the point. But you are off the whiskey. That did happen. Okay, so then he explains how the Crown Jewel Championship is not actually a title, it's like The Rock's title, and it's kinda just a trophy. I know that. I never said I don't know that. That was kind of the point I was making. I said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean shit. And look, I'm not complaining. It's a cool concept. Champion versus champion, whatever. I'm just saying the title looks bad. It looks so weird. I don't mind it. I don't mind the whole concept. It's just kind of dumb. I like the ref cam idea. Okay, my mind kind of changed. In the previous Hot Takes video, I said this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It sounded like a great idea. It doesn't work. Because in that particular match, that was the case. It didn't need it. In this match, however, it did make sense and it made the match a bit more enjoyable. So you know what? Keep it. Don't do it too often. Imagine they accidentally cut to the ref cam and all you see is just some booty. Like the ref is following booty all the time. That Crown Jewel belt sucks. Yeah, kinda. It looks AI generated. Even Triple H kinda made fun of it. He's like, look at all the diamonds. Oh my god, so many diamonds. Again, it doesn't matter. Strowman, by the way, is still a Saudi champion. Nobody ever put him down. He's still a champion. One of the longest reigning champions in W. You wanna talk about Roman style reign? People are sleeping on this one. CM Punk and Drew was robbed of the main event. I get why now, but The Rock just came out, stared everyone down, and showed he can count to 5. WWE is all about counting right now. Even the SmackDown theme song is all about learning numbers. Yeah, again, The Rock is getting blamed. A lot. My thing with The Rock is this. He can have the biggest ego, do a lot of weird ass shit, and if the end result is great, and then he pretends like it was the plan all along, as long as it's good, it's good. This will probably lead to some cool ass shit happening. Roman had a bigger pop than Cody in his hometown. I think Cody needs to worry about his title reign. I disagree. I think nobody can touch Roman's aura. That is objective, I believe. Also, it was Roman's in-ring return. It's a lot more special seeing Roman now than Cody. Cody is there every week. He's wrestling on every pay-per-view. Roman was gone. People appreciate watching wrestlers that they didn't see for quite a while. It's as simple as that. The championship has nothing to do with it. Some people might say it was the wrong call to take the championship off Roman. I disagree. It was time. It's just that it's gonna take a while for this championship title reign to pick up. But now with the return of The Rock, it's getting interesting. Sammy's winning the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw so that we get Sammy versus Cody. Then Bloodline interferes and we get Sammy back in the Bloodline picture. Meh, to be honest, but I don't see any other way to get Sammy into the War Games. Maybe he's not gonna be in the War Games. That does make some sense anyway. It's kind of universe mode booking. I don't see Sammy winning the championship, but that way we'd get Crown Jewel, Sammy versus Cody, champion versus champion, Bloodline interferes. We have the problem. That way Sammy can work with Roman Reigns and forget their history. I see your vision. That is actually pretty smart. I appreciate the thought process. You know, that makes a lot of sense. I just don't see Gunther losing the championship, and I don't even know if Sammy is gonna be at Survivor Series. I would actually like to see Gunther versus Goldberg as long as there's no shenanigans and Gunther gets the dominant win like he should. That's my thing. That's all I'm saying. You know, I'm not like so pumped for a Goldberg match. No, I'm just saying there was no harm in that. Thank you so much for participating in this video. As always, the great one, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.